Bro, you can hit it with a...
All right, we're doing it. Let's take one.
And we're back.
To the Goblin Squad. It actually worked. I'm still holding the plate. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we're here.
We're here.
Hi. Hello.
So, we
the
are...
sun.
Oh, is it? Is it
it's
too bright on you?
No. It looks like a beacon of celestial hope.
Which you are.
Thank you. Thank you. But also...
We will adjust in post.
It's fine. It's our first run.
So, folks, if this doesn't end up making it onto a video,
which it might not, because it takes a little bit.
Yeah,
to get yourself.
We're getting there. So we are test running our first video podcast today.
It's fascinating because now I have two things to look at, which is you
and
you
and you, the viewer.
Such eye contact.
I know.
Aggressive.
But this is, we're taking the next step. We're doing the things. This is exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yes.
Now I'm just like, how animated should I be? Like, should I be my normal self or should I be like, no.
Yeah. I mean, do that.
Clearly it's not stoppable. Just, sorry. I'm all hands now. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
I'm Eddie Vedder.
Give that man a tambourine.
Somebody give that man a tambourine.
So yeah, we're here. We're on video.
Yeah, we are.
We're these are the things that you're missing out on.
No.
Yeah, but we're in the red room. You can finally see how red it is.
Yeah. And I had all these like hopes and aspirations. I'm like, I'm gonna decorate it. It's gonna look great. And just this morning, I was like, get the cats out. like barely.
I mean,
the capybara pillow. I mean, it's been here the whole time.
Was I just sitting on it
You
the
were.
whole time?
I think you were. I think it was actually under Jeff.
Oh,
yeah.
Also,
Jeff.
Yeah. Shout out, Jeff Goblin.
Along with my emotional support gargoyle.
Yes.
Who is here?
We can finally. It's like show and tell.
Here it is. There's Grimmy. Here's emotional support gargoyle.
Yes. So all of the things we have in here will finally.
Where have you been, Loka? Shout
Bella. Out. This is a skin of a killer. And now you can see, and as you're illuminated in the sunlight.
As if you could outrun me.
As if you could fight me. Happy bear.
The friendliest of the rodent family.
They're just like giant cats.
They get along with everyone.
Oh, they're precious. I am okay. I'm very jazzed and excited. Okay, so we're here, recording.
We're doing it.
We're doing the stuff. You're like, I'm blinded by the sun.
I feel very illuminated.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Illuminati level.
This is our, it's our first test.
This is it.
We're getting all the
Get
stuff and things out.
Get it all out.
So, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about Ostara. Oh, that was a double. Oh my God.
It's extra magical.
Put it down. So it is that time of year, Gobs.
Yes.
Where we are thinking about spring, finally. Although winter here has been kind of a thing.
It's
this year.
The absence of a thing.
Yeah. Last year at this time, we had multiple feet.
Record snowfall.
Of snow.
12
this year,
feet.
0 snow.
Yeah.
No snow.
Except now we're hitting a cold snap.
I know.
At the ass end of it.
I feel spoiled. Like we had such a mild.
I'm like, can we just not?
Please no.
Yeah.
My perennials, they're confused.
I know.
The animals are confused.
We're trying to do a thing.
They are.
So.
We're talking about the spring equinox, folks.
The one with the eggs.
The one with the eggs.
Yes.
Ostara.
Ostara.
Which is the most...
She was a fairy.
mellifluous magical name for an equinox.
Oh my God.
Ostara.
Yes.
Versus the other ones where we're like, Mabon.
Yeah.
Celebrate Mabon.
Say it with your chest. Yes.
So, we have done some magical episodes before where we talk about equinoxes and sabbats and celebrations. And we thought, the timing of this episode dropping would be perfect for Ostara because... I mean, people do say, like, it's on the spring equinox, but it can be celebrated for that, like, range of days. So, from, like, the 19th of March through the 23rd in the Northern Hemisphere is considered kind of the Ostara season.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of different things that you can do around that. But it's prevalent all over the world.
Oh, yeah.
So hit me with what do you got? What do you got there, Gob? She's got, as usual,
My notes.
there are notes. My notes are just a bunch of like, what do you do now? Questions. And hers are like highlighted pictures.
I do have some pictures of a different festival I looked up. That looked very fun. That I will share with you.
That looks very colorful.
In a little section we will call Gobs Around the World.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So it's a little different celebration during the same time. I was like, this would be interesting. But Ostara, or, the spring vernal equinox. This year, it's on the 19th.
Okay.
But again, 3 days before or after, around there. It used to be in like certain areas or certain solar calendars, the full moon after the equinox.
How did this change?
I'm not entirely sure.
Because, I mean, maybe convenience. I don't know.
Perhaps they're, changing certain holidays to others. to align with different things.
I'm not going to bash.
No, not at all.
There's nothing anti-other holidays.
No.
In any of these notes.
No.
Because, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But,
because other ones were like the full moon after and then Easter.
Did you feel the entire house shake?
I thought that was... You heard that? I thought that was just mine.
No. That was the entire house.
It's windy.
Oh my God.
Let's just hope it's the wind. We did say we're going to start getting the haunted, weird shit that happens in here on camera. I did.
I can't handle it.
Maybe it was a train.
I hope it was a train. But my whole chair went...
I did. I
like,
thought it was like my headphone.
No.
Like,
no, it was the domicile.
It was the entire house.
Okay, well, that's not concerning at all.
So the equinox.
So the equal light, equal dark. I'm all stressed out. Fucking house is haunted. Oh God. All right.
Okay.
It's going to be fine.
It is. It's great. It's getting great. Easter.
So Easter
is usually the Sunday after that full moon, after the equinox. That's why it changes every year.
Because it's me holding in my...
It's based off of an older pagan solar calendar. That's why that shift. But it usually, for us Northern Hemisphere peeps, is between March 20th and 23rd. Like this year it's the 19th. So around that time. In the Southern Hemisphere, we're looking at September 20th and 23rd.
Okay.
So a little different, but it's all about rebirth, renewal, growth, fertility, awakening of the earth, and balance. Yeah.
You're
just like really?
Fascinating. Trying to keep my cool.
You're like, I can see myself
and not look at myself. And like,
I can flip
look
it.
No.
Is it too distracting?
No, it's just knowing that we're recording on a camera, and it's gonna take as many times as it took me to get used to our mics.
Oh yeah,
it'll take me to get used to the camera, and then it'll be fine. But like for right now, I'm like, do I look pensive enough? Do I look enthralled?
I saw a comment on a video this morning where someone said, like, whenever you're starting a new thing, people always say baby steps. Like, you're taking these little tentative steps.
Is this going to turn
You ever seen a baby trying to walk, though? They're clonking around doing weird, crazy steps.
mean,
those are baby steps. They're weird and you fall down and, but eventually you start walking.
I mean, I was just around some babies. They don't even know how their limbs work. They they can't.
They're just like jello.
They are.
Yeah. So we're jello.
This Ostara episode is going to turn into a full-blown self-help. You know it is. Already.
Oh yeah. We got some rituals.
Yeah, we
got
do.
some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
So what did you look into? Because I got a whole spiel.
You got a spiel.
Stuff.
Okay. So I went pretty general, just like explaining to myself. this is the spring equinox celebration, so balance is a big part of it. I mean, originally when I thought about Ostara, I thought about all of the symbolism and kind of the ways that like pagan ritual and like seasonal ritual have translated into modern society, and how for a long time religious communities have complained about the commercialism of various religions, specifically Christian, religious celebrations, and the commercialization of Christmas and Easter specifically. But I think out of all, I mean, like, everything is pagan AF, right? Yeah. But as far as Ostara / Easter goes, it has remained, in my mind, the most direct, like with the least modification and to the visual symbolism of it.
The least amount of explaining on the other ends, too.
Ain't nobody questioning the bunny and the eggs, right? Like, everybody's like, they go together. He brings the eggs. And you're like...
As he came back to life after 3 days, there was about... what?
But why does the bunnies and the eggs go with that?
I mean... Cadbury eggs are delicious.
I do allow myself to eat at least one Cadbury egg every year.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
I wonder if it's just everyone wants to partake in the fun, which I'm all here for.
I'm here for it as well.
It is a fun thing.
Do I also have slight confusion about how they just meld together so seamlessly?
No one really talks
for
about
folks. Like... Like, think back to when little you was like, Ma'am, why does the bunny bring the eggs on the day of the rising? And what did mothers say? What did grown-ups say? They were like, it's just, the bunny just does it, right? Yeah. Like,
get your shoes on, we're late for Sunday.
Yeah, we gotta go. It's, let's go. But no one ever actually questions, like, the bunny.
No.
And the big JC. Like, everybody's like, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Not gonna lie, kind of thought bunnies laid eggs for a long time.
For a long time. Yeah. I get it. We were
having... Easter.
I mean, our conversations about rabbits aren't nearly so positive as evidenced by our talk the other day, where I was like, you want a fun fact at 8 a.m? And you were like, yeah, man, hit me with it. I'm like, I don't know if you want this one. It tied into our snake discussion.
Yes.
Because that was when, your husband accused me of being a plant for Big Snake Pharma, which we've covered on the pod, I think. And
which we're still not sure about.
I didn't deny.
Look, I've got a recorder right here.
Haha. But then I immediately, for some reason, followed it up with that fun fact about rabbits.
Yep.
And how, get ready, how... if you dissect a rabbit, its guts won't go back in to itself because there's too many of them. I had the interesting experience of dissecting a rabbit, and a lot of people probably maybe have done this.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Dissecting a rabbit for a vertebrate biology class, and one of the tasks that we had to do while examining like the abdominal cavity was to separate the intestines from the fascia, which sounds as horrible as it is. Right. So, like, here's the bunny, right? It's all done. Here, immediately adjacent to the bunny, are the intestines that, like, can't go back in the bunny.
How did it come out of here?
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's impressive because they're so cecal fermenters. So bunnies eat their own poop.
Oh.
Yeah. They eat.
What's that mean for the class?
They eat, they poop, they eat the poop again, and then they poop again.
Bunnies.
So bunnies have 2 kinds of poop.
It's poopception.
It's poopception. Poop with poop. Poop.
It's all coming together.
It's all coming. And that's how Easter happened.
And that's the story of Easter.
Well, happy Easter it is.
I feel like this is a throwback to that super secret episode with Sonia.
We shall not speak. We shall not speak of that episode.
It was a Zoom that didn't work. But
And
it quickly devolved into us talking about very weird topics for like 45
Once
minutes.
again, I caused it. It never had to be. And then I derailed that entire conversation by talking about this subject that we're not going to bring up. Which went on for like 15 minutes of the recording. And Sonia, thank you for your indulgence.
Shout out.
Was like, no, that's real. And went
It's like,
full Sonia with
let's go
me.
into it. Yeah.
And I was like, wow. I got
Yeah.
done. And then the whole thing had to be scrapped because of a technology issue.
We didn't think about the feedback.
No, and so
Yeah.
we're
learning those baby steps.
We're learning. But we can dodge that bullet right now. We're just gonna jump right over the intestines, and we're gonna return to the joy of spring and fertility.
Because you did tell me another weird fact about eggs, though, and chickens.
Oh, baby chickens?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that once baby chickens hatch, they don't eat right away because they're still absorbing their own yolk. So in their belly, they're carrying the yolk in their belly. So there's still kind of an egg and kind of a chicken after they hatch.
It's like they have their first meal like built in.
Which means neither of them came before the other one. They're the same thing.
That's just... So it's like if you're eating an egg, are you even really eating the chicken? You're just eating its first lunch?
Yeah. No.
Like,
you are
really?
stealing from a baby chicken that didn't exist.
You just stole his lunch money.
Yeah,
You're not
he's
eating
gone.
him.
No.
He ain't there
He's
yet.
not there. No.
It's so
But yeah.
weird.
But then
It's just built in.
But then I told you how I discovered that.
yeah.
Right? Again, it's not none of these topics. Sometimes you look at your own life and you start to go, how did I get here? And this is the way. So
Yeah.
I was training a red-tailed hawk.
Like you do.
Beautiful bird. But very, very sassy. And for a couple different reasons, she had to be indoors. Normally, she lived outdoors.
Oh.
So we had to bring her indoors. And on that particular day, for whatever reason, she was in my office at my job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had what's called a bow perch, which is a big metal perch with rope around it and an anchor on it, so that I could tie her tether to it, so that even if she tried to fly, she would just land on the ground and then come back to the perch.
Yeah.
But I had to pick her up to feed her, and it was chick day, and so I had a baby chicken. And
Wait.
it was already dead.
Wait
right?
a minute.
What?
You're feeding a hawk
A chicken.
a baby.
Baby chicken.
The cannibalism.
They don't know. They don't care. They don't have moral codes.
No.
No.
They're like, I'm hungry.
The look on your face, you were like,
I was like, what?
how could you?
As I've seen an owl take a bunny. I'm like,
Oh,
that's fine.
That's the worst thing about owl banding is you have to keep the little owls from the big owls.
The bird cannibalism.
Shout
of it
out
all.
A genius for helping me learn that fun fact. Yeah, bigger owls eat little owls like Lunchables. They
Oh
don't
my
care.
God.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
barred owls and great
birds.
horned owls are like, woo, they'll eat them.
So you're bringing the baby chick.
Yeah, and so I had
the
her
hawk.
on the glove, right? I picked her up, and she was sitting on the glove, and I was
Yeah.
training her at the time too. So I was trying to
Did
weight
she have that
train
little
her.
hood?
She did not have a hood because she was not hood trained.
Oh,
We were in the process of trying to hood train her, but
Yeah.
she was already like 25 years old at that point.
Oh, wow.
So training her at an older age to be hood trained was more challenging. So we
Yeah.
were basically trying to get her to be consistently weight trained because you have to weigh them every day. Like birds
Oh.
drop weight so fast. Birds of prey
Really?
drop weight so fast. So part of their training is weight management so that they're healthy, but will also be interested in eating when you offer them food.
Gosh, just staying consistent.
Otherwise, why would you fly to a person?
Yeah.
If you're not
I don't
hungry,
need you.
you'd be like, I'm so full. And that's oftentimes
sense.
when birds escape and don't come back to their handlers or their falconers, it's because they're overfed and they're not hungry. And they're like,
Oh.
you know, like they
I
don't
don't need
they're
you.
not coming down.
Yeah, no.
Like, why would I come over there? So I gave her a chick that was dead. And she was like, hell yeah. And she bent down and she just went, "Ugh," and just eviscerated this puppy onto my face.
No!
Which is how I quickly discovered that chickens are yolk.
You're like, it's sunny side.
I was like,
Oh.
And then
That's
I was like,
weird.
someone please give me a towel, and just removed the egg.
Get the big one.
Literal egg off of my face. So,
Oh my God.
yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
These are all things that probably tie into Easter. Chicken.
The story of
eggs.
Easter. I mean, we're talking bunnies and we're talking eggs. It's Easter to me. It's Ostara.
She did eat bunnies sometimes too, but it wasn't that often. Because she wasn't that big. She was a red tail.
Was her name Ostara?
Her name was Lady.
Hey. She was a fan.
One of the only birds of prey to actually attack me. In fact, she had attacked every handler she ever had.
She was
at
spicy.
least one time. Yeah, she would test you out.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I remember the day she attacked me because I went in to feed her, and she was, oh, here comes
Mr. Worldwide.
Thank you. I shall grab.
emergency toilet paper because of Wampus. I'm pretty sure it's Wampus now. I've forgiven Koo.
I did forget to take my preemptive Alka-Seltzer.
I knew.
Like
I knew.
a failure.
It's okay.
But it's fine.
You're forgiven.
Thank you.
So, themes. Origins. Practices.
Yeah, what'd
Focusing.
you look
This
into?
is me focusing.
Yes.
So, just general themes. There are a lot of, like, you can delve into a lot of resources online, especially about, like, the origin of Ostara. But there are general spring fertility, spring equinox, origin of spring, religious, pagan, nature-based ceremonies from all over the world. So, like, the Ostara that I think is primarily associated with, like, the pagan Sabbath that's celebrated in the Western world is more focused on, like, the, like, Western European overthrew, like, Eastern European style
The
of symbolism. Yeah,
Anglo-Saxons.
definitely.
Yes.
Definitely more of the Anglo-Saxon version of the rite and ritual.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of the practices and themes and origins and stuff are all incredibly familiar because a majority of them have survived.
Yep.
Like, people still do them on an annual basis, maybe not even realizing that this is part of
Like
how
where it comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, obviously, the most prevalent are those that have survived in capitalism in the United States, which would be symbols of spring. So things, and fertility, specifically things like rabbits, chickens, eggs, flowers, milk, honey, calves, sheep, lambs, anything.
Wool.
Yep, wool.
Yep.
And then also my favorite thing that I learned, which makes total sense because we all embrace it in decor in the United States and in our gardens, but don't think about it. There are bugs that are associated with it, like caterpillars, ladybugs, and bees. So those are kind of the main
rebirth.
symbols. Yep.
Yes.
And the emergence of spring after a long and treacherous winter.
Yes.
So those are just kind of the general themes. There are a lot of deities associated with Ostara. But there are a few that are kind of the focus. And I can never figure out how to say the names of, like, with all the vowels.
Ooh. What do you have?
So one of them is like, it's not, I mean, I know Ishtar, right? But the other ones are like Eostre.
Oh, it's like Ostra.
It's Ostra or
that's how I say it in my head. Yeah.
Or Astre or it's very, and
where it goes
I
from
should have
like
Googled
old German to
because
Anglo-Saxon.
because the Germanic peoples had a spring celebration focusing on that, and then also it's the time of, like, the celebration of the Green Man and Mother Earth, and, like, the transition of the Green Man into his power. And it just follows, like, the Wheel of the Year cycle, you know, that then transitions all the way through to the fall Sabbats and eventually the end of the pagan year. So a lot of these things, like, if you just trace back through why humanity would have selected them to be symbols of fertility, rabbits and hares, for example, which are primarily... my mom made it safely to her destination. One moment. Self.
We're gonna try so hard.
These we're doing stuff and we're learning and we're talking about Ostara.
God damn it.
Trying to talk about spring.
But see, now we'll have stuff in here set up.
Yep.
That can just live in here.
Yep.
you know, and that now we know what we need for next time.
Baby steps.
Yeah. Not sponsored.
No. All right. Crispin.
Cheers.
Glover.
It's delicious.
It is delicious.
Alrighty. Where were we?
I don't know. I got sidetracked by intestines, hawks, symbols of fertility,
Yes.
deities.
Did you find anything about Ostara and the hare?
Okay, so just a reference to the March hare, which don't look at me like that.
Don't look at me like that either. Have you ever seen that meme?
Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so the March hare was like the symbol of fertility because hares were traditionally a nocturnal animal, and then during the spring season they actually come out and are way more visible during the daytime hours because they're doing their super cool like mating, running, chasing, jumping, boing, and bounce.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really interesting because the March hare is a character from Through the Looking Glass.
Oh,
So like there's the Mad Hatter and the March hare, and they're insane.
very late. Very, very late.
Very late. No,
For a
that's
very important date.
That's the White Rabbit.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Wait,
the
who's
March
the March hare.
The March hare is the crazy rabbit that hangs out with the
Oh
Mad
yeah,
Hatter.
the
who's
one
like
with the whiskers that are
cuckoo
like
bananas. Yeah,
yes, yes.
But he's crazy because in spring the rabbits are crazy. You know, and they're boinging around and they're jumping around and they're nuts.
This makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So that and bunnies can get pregnant so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm having the first babies, but also simultaneously pregnant with the second babies, essentially. Like babies.
You know, they're doing it like rabbits.
Yeah, like rabbits.
Yeah.
But also rabbits can have more than one batch of babies every year. And so but so can squirrels. So I'm like, there's a lot of animals.
No one's out here. They're doing it like squirrel. What? What are we talking about here?
What? And always I'd be like, God damn, the fall squirrels are just scrappy because they gotta grow over the winter, and then they're just like, geek, you know, like they're just fully like when that
determined
fall squirrel broke into my kitchen,
Oh my
my
god.
old apartment, came around the corner.
Hello.
There was a squirrel sitting at my fucking table eating, had an entire apple, and it was like, "Ugh." And I'm like, what are you doing in here? And it chewed a hole through my open screen window, like,
oh my god.
chewed a hole. And I was like, you bastard. And I went, I went for it, and it just like, went back out the window. So naturally
with the apple.
Yes, took the apple. For context, I had seen this squirrel in the tree outside of my apartment holding things like an entire piece of pizza. One time it had a whole donut.
He's like the pizza rat,
Yeah.
but a squirrel.
Yeah.
The
And I was
Minnesota version
like,
of a
dude.
pizza rat.
So naturally I chased it. So I went outside
And
I
it's
was like,
rippling back muscles.
like, look at them back muscles, bitch. And I
That's
chased it,
crazy.
and I went out, and it was on the side of our building, which was made of brick, and I realized that there were holes. There were 4 units in that building. There were holes in every window screen.
No.
And it had busted into all of our kitchens.
I mean,
and
smart
stole it.
squirrel.
Yeah. So then after that, I was like, you've earned these scraps. Here's a sandwich. You know, like, you can
You're just
have it.
trying to enjoy like a fall breeze.
Yeah. I'm like, don't come out. Don't come out here.
No.
So March squirrels are as crazy.
Jesus.
Fall squirrels are worse than March squirrels. Once again, not about Ostara.
Baby steps. But did you happen to look up? Because I've found a couple different versions.
I want to hear the
Of the
versions. Tell me the
Ostara.
versions.
So now I found it damn near impossible to find like historical actual links
Okay, same.
between Ostara and the hare,
Yeah.
except that they were both worshipped separately in the spring, you know,
Yep.
and both at the full moon.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is again a little differently. Like now, it's more like equinox, the vernal equinox versus the full moon right after it.
Yep.
I've seen both to where it was like with the Anglo-Saxons and Germans where it was previously celebrated,
Mm-hmm.
which a lot of different religions celebrate like their version of Easter or whatever on that date now,
Yeah.
which I find interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if maybe because it did get a little bit co-opted or combined, they were like, let's just put it back to the equinox.
Yeah. It's easier
know.
to remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. It never
Yeah, and it-
changes.
Right. Or it'd be like around the same thing every
Yeah.
year. So
Mr. Worldwide.
So, like,
It's the stress of these cameras. Both of us are like, it's also really
and they have
hot.
a bright light on us. What did you do? Where's the body?
Well,
You're like,
I mean,
it was a squirrel. He took my apple. Okay.
I chased him. His back muscles were rippling.
I don't know why I pictured you jumping out the window in that story. Come on. You just kick the
It's
screen.
like the corral story where I'm like,
Yes.
yeah.
Dude, you just chasing animals out here.
Remember,
Yeah.
the list is growing. Have I been bitten by a squirrel? Yes.
Hair?
Yes, I have. Yes, snowshoe. Snowshoe bit me right in the hand.
Chicken.
Yep.
Someone, the gal with the list.
I mean, yeah, someone, if you want to make like a bingo board, now would be the time.
Yes. You got to put obscure ones on there. Like orangutan.
No, because we all know.
You don't-
I don't fuck with great apes, okay? No, I do not.
Fair.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Rip it right
The
out.
lips.
No.
No.
The bits.
Although,
Lips and bits.
no.
And fingertips. Okay.
We're
They
spitting
do
rhymes.
But they do.
They do because they're smart.
I watched too much of that show. What is it? Oh. Now I'm blanking.
Prey? I was prey?
No. Oh, it's close to that. I'll think of it. It'll come back to me.
What show is it?
It's like people who have owned animals. It's on Discovery.
Oh, no, I've seen it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it goes through like people who've owned chimps or people who own tigers or something. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I wish
It'll
I
come
could
to me.
remember.
it's like a jaguar with purple on it. Is
Yeah,
like
I
the
can
cover
see
of
it.
it.
I can see it because I did watch a lot of episodes of that show, and I'm sure.
Fatal Attractions,
Fatal Attract. Yeah.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it.
and they are, or damn near.
Uh.
So great apes. The story of Easter.
Okay, if this is not the most unhinged fucking goblin episode, if it even can be made into an episode.
Hey, it will be. And I know you guys are here for it.
The only person who's listening to this right now and is like, Jesus, Sarah, is my own mom. Who's like, what is this? Why are you putting this out in the world? And I'll be like, I tried my best.
Hey, but these are the things, like we have talked about. Sometimes you gotta put out the stuff that shows you're learning and growing. And then maybe we'll look back on it in a year and be like, hey,
Look how good we tried.
Yeah.
We're trying so hard.
we are. And it's our first time. And
Yeah.
now we know that we're charging the cameras.
Yep.
We're working. We have our very
There's
amazing
a-
system.
I can see
Which
piece
I
of paper. Feel like it's. Are you me blog? It's blog inception right now.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's see. Oh.
That is the most high tech.
Yeah, it is. Just look at that beautiful setup. Hey, me.
Hey, Sarah. So, the hair.
It's fully dissociated at this point. Like, yep.
So basically, there's two tales, right, that came during the German folklore movement in the 19th century. So not a lot with them, historically, like way back when all this, stuff came about. But the first tale explains the hare was once a bird with an injured wing. And the goddess Ostara knew it wouldn't fly again even if she healed it.
Oh,
Even she, he fell out the window.
spirit was broken.
He was down. Instead, she transformed it into a four-legged animal known as a hare. To thank Ostara, the hare lays an egg for her every spring on her festival day.
So it's a magical former bird that's become a hare that lays an egg.
Right?
The Easter bunny.
Yeah.
And Easter is a translation or a transformation of what word? Ostara.
She was a fairy.
So that's where that damn bunny came from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, a second similar tale
Yep.
explains the hare was once a bird that delivered messages of spring to Ostara. And Ostara transformed the bird into a hare so that it could endure the winter.
Oh.
In memory of its former shape, it laid colorful eggs every year for spring. So little different.
I like
but
the whimsy of both of those,
I do
actually.
too. Maybe it's a little mixture.
Yeah.
of both. But I like that basically she changed the bird into a hare. And he's like, here's a little present. Boop. Little Cadbury egg.
I won't eat this one.
Yeah, no. Poopception.
Once again. Poopception.
But I remember hearing that for the first time and pretty sure in my 20s and being like, because no one my whole life growing up had ever told me anything like that, was ever able to explain.
No one told me why the
This is
Easter
why
Bunny
there's
brought eggs.
That's why for so long I was like, yeah, bunnies lay eggs.
Get it together.
Where do you think they eat their money? I was like, in his little basket. Like, with my whole chest, just saying that.
He carries those eggs around, man.
There's
Wyatt has the
little
powers
grass.
of Santa. Also, no one ever explains,
Right.
like, how does that bunny do what Santa does every year?
And, I mean, she's kind of in with Santa a little bit.
Yeah.
Because do you recall when we talked about Santa, the Green Man?
The green. Oh, yeah.
Legend has it that Ostara, or Eostra, we should have looked up how to say
We
it.
should have Googled
I apologize to the Germans.
So sorry.
You're fine.
So sorry.
That she mated with the solar god of the spring equinox, and 9 months later, at the Yule winter solstice, gave birth to a man/godchild, Santa.
Santa. Yeah. All right. Okay. It all ties together.
And he brings back the what? At Yule, the light, the warmth of the spring.
Oh. Okay. All right. You've brought it all.
I mean, that's what Santa does.
Light of the day.
That's when he's in the anglerfish. He's just voguing.
I'm attached. For anyone
That's
that
him.
just has discovered the Goblin Squad on this episode, I'm so sorry.
It's unhinged.
And also, I had somehow almost forgotten about the Santa anglerfish. Almost. It was almost gone.
You're like, what?
And then when you said he was voguing in the anglerfish, I was like, oh yeah.
You're like, he was in there.
He was in there. Well, I warned the gobs not to become entangled with an anglerfish.
Yeah. No. Oh my God.
I don't want to get absorbed.
Yeah, so if you're a little confused by that, go back to the Yule app.
Yeah.
It'll
Welcome back.
Give a little something
Take a
to you
minute.
there.
Go there. Come back.
So I have, I got some symbolism. I have a long list of activities.
I do as well because I feel like Ostara is a really, really easy Sabbath to connect with on activities because you're already in the mindset of wanting to move out of winter and into spring.
Yes.
So the idea of doing all of the things that you want to do for Ostara is yes, versus the other ones where I'm always like, okay, it's not that I don't want to do it.
I'm
it's
cold.
just that
I'm too hot.
yeah, something. There's
Bro.
always something. So this one always seems like a refresher, and there's a lot of practices tied to it that are not just pagan, I suppose. It can
100%.
just be there are so many ways to approach it that doesn't necessarily have to be via witchcraft or pagan celebration. So you shouldn't feel like that is the only lens to look at it with. But I made a list.
Oh, I got.
We'll
go back
hella
and
list.
forth. Yes.
So practices that you can do around Ostara. Now, I'm going to start out with some of these in my notes. I put these are just general practices. Okay, general practices.
For all the humies.
Things that people do every year without realizing they're doing it, or rituals that happen on an annual basis that also coincide with this time of year.
Okay.
So everyone that gardens is in full seed sowing mode right now. People are planting, they're sowing, they're organizing, they're transforming their kitchens into seed starting bases of operation. So the idea of seed sowing or garden planting is a component of this celebration.
Yep.
Also, the giving of candy.
Yes!
Everyone wants candy. It's another good reason to give
the best
candy. Easter candy, I think, might hands down be my favorite candy.
Except they discontinued my favorite kind, Butterfinger eggs.
They don't make
them
those?
anymore. I haven't been able to find them for years. You know them little bitty.
Oh,
Butterfinger
yeah.
eggs.
They don't make them anymore.
Haven't seen them, but they still make Starburst jelly beans.
Oh, those are good.
So
Again, I love a Cadbury egg.
I do too.
OG Cadbury egg.
But
not
robin
the weird...
eggs are garbage.
I don't agree.
They're garbage.
I love robin eggs.
No. Boo. Boo.
Not boo. You eat the whole container. Especially
They're just Whoppers.
Yeah, but they have a candy crunchy shell. And some of them are blue.
Your brain has a candy coated shell on it.
Some of them are blue.
This is true.
And I like
Joel
them.
loves them as well. I think I
Okay.
just
Thank
don't
you,
like
Joel.
malt flavor outside of a malt.
You are malt elitist.
Yeah.
That is
I'm
true.
like, I want it to have
You
ice
are a
cream,
malt snob. You want the pure
hot fudge
from
wafers,
the malt shop.
maraschino cherry. Yeah.
You want the malt.
100%.
I get that. I can respect it.
I'm disappointed, if I'm honest. It's not that they're gross. I'm like, you're not what I want you to be.
Yeah. You're crunchy and dry. Like the Sahara Desert.
Why are they so
All the
dry?
moisture.
I did see someone do an intriguing thing where they put them in a bowl of, and like put milk in it, like cereal.
What?
Can't be good for you. But I was intrigued by it.
But then they're just
Because it's like malted milk.
slippery.
Like, it sounds hard to eat.
Just like crunching
But-
around. Maybe.
I try it.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Also, those little mini Cadbury chocolate eggs that have the candy crunchy shell and chocolate on the inside are like the best.
See, I'll do those. I'll do those all day.
Those are so good.
Yes.
And then as a child, we would get a chocolate bunny every now and again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're always gunning for the solid chocolate bunny with the weird candy eyes, the haunted yellow and blue candy eyes.
profile.
And one eye is like this, and one eye is like this.
Mom hid it in the car for a little bit. Kind of melted.
Yeah. So you're always gunning for solid. But if you got a hollow one, you'd be like, thank you, because you're not turning down that waxy hollow bunny. But on a very rare occasion, we would get a thing that rivaled all candies, all treats. And it was an egg, like this big. And it was made entirely out of a sugar cube. Inside of it was a diorama of a little scene made out of frosting and candy and sugar that was a bunny and a chicken and flowers. And then the whole sugar cube egg diorama was decorated with
My mouth is
frosting.
watering.
Yeah.
I was like about to drool.
And it was in like a box. And one,
Where do you find this
I don't know
thing?
where she found him because it wasn't that damn bunny. It was my mom. And we came downstairs.
Where did you get
I don't know where she got those. We came down and I was like, what is this? And I remember just like holding it and being like, oh my God. Like I couldn't eat it.
I've never even heard of such a thing.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It goes back to, I think your whole family is fairies and magic. The more I hear of like stories of your childhood, I'm like,
Wait a minute.
he's like, oh yeah, the green man who was in the yard.
He's still there. Also, I found a
These
broom in the
magical
basement.
Hollow eggs made of sugar.
They were real good. Mm-hmm. Real
Did you
good.
say you found a broom in the basement?
Yeah, 2 days ago, I came out of the basement bathroom and I was like, la la la. And then behind the door, like hanging on the wall, was this broom made of sticks, like entwined, like a besom. I mean, it was just like hanging there.
Who made it?
I don't know. Maybe my mom. Maybe my dad. There's no way to know anymore. It all just blends together.
They're all very. Didn't your dad used to like take you out?
My Halloween costume, witch broom, he
Yeah.
made me that witch broom out of sticks from hostas. Because we didn't have any. It was an emergency situation, and he just searched around for sticks because I was crying because someone said I looked like a wizard, but I wanted to be a witch.
I'm a witch.
Yeah, and he was like, "You don't have a
Oh.
broom," and then he manufactured that broom for me.
What a petunia.
I know. Yeah.
Fairies.
So,
okay.
no, not normal, I suppose.
Me and my dad make a broom. It's me and a broom alone. In a room by myself. This is great. That is a magical, beautiful story. You're just like the uncomfortable gargoyle.
Sorry.
You don't apologize for your amazing fairy family.
Oh my God.
Oh, it
Sometimes-
was probably one of them.
It probably was. Sometimes when I talk to people now who knew me growing up, like when we interviewed Sonia, and Sonia, like when truths are revealed about yourself that you have just pretended are not real for a very long time, such as like Glessner time. Never going to live that one down. Thanks, Sonia. That's real. Or like how multiple friends of me and my brothers all had similar experiences at my parents' house.
Yeah.
And now as adults are like, oh yeah, that house. And we're all like, what?
You're like,
What?
a magical house?
What?
The burrow.
Yeah, that house is crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Did have a gargoyle. Which side? I can't breathe.
Like, where do I hold you?
Just stay. I'm going to knock you down. No way. No way.
Oh, no.
So, candy.
Candy.
But sometimes if you don't have candy, to illustrate how much of a petunia my father can be when he wants to. One time when we were kids, we didn't have like money for extra Easter stuff.
Yeah.
And my dad stayed up and hard-boiled 4 dozen eggs and colored them, and then hid the hard-boiled eggs, but forgot to count like how many and like where they were.
That's literally a Bob's Burgers episode. Yeah. So, like, we're gonna have to burn a building down.
Yeah. So we found as many as we could, and we ate. Like this is the best part about my dad. My dad never supervised. Like if we got like candy or a reward of any kind, he'd just be like, "You're fine." And so my brothers and I probably each ate an entire dozen hard-boiled eggs. But then realized quickly that we hadn't found all the eggs. And I don't remember finding the eggs. Like, I don't know what happened.
Like
if my mom
mummified in a cupboard somewhere.
But, I mean, they always came through.
That's squirrels.
So, like, the eggs and the candy and all that were a big tradition in my family.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also raised Catholic, so church was a big part of it and the whole Easter thing. But we were, like, regular church attendees, so Easter was just, like, when everyone else you never saw at church was at church.
But Easter and Christmas.
Did get some sweet-ass Easter hats to wear.
Easter hat.
We had dresses. I had like an Easter dress. We had to dress up.
I had those, yeah.
Sometimes I would get a
big
hat.
curled bang.
Yep, I would have a big bang.
My mom picked it.
Yeah. Oh,
I looked like Lobo Pete.
And
those little white ribbons, those high white socks with the little frill.
Yep,
the little frill on the end.
Socks, patent leather white shoes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Why do I look like a doll right now?
I mean, Yes.
The story of Easter.
This is basically a trauma dump episode. It's like, but Easter was and continued to be like the 2 anchor pin holidays in my extended family's household because like obviously Christmas and then Easter would be the other holiday where everyone would get together and it was all about food.
Same for
right?
Joel's family.
Yep, and they were, there's always the contentious food items that you like, what do you eat for Easter? And if anyone didn't say ham, they would just be slaughtered. Like
blasphemer.
Get out.
And it better have them little pineapples on it.
Yeah,
too.
It better have them pineapples.
Yeah.
Or get out again. Also, my grandmother, I miss you. R.I.P. She would make a cake that everyone hated. And everyone hated it. I told you, and it was an angel food cake out the box.
Always angel
right?
food cake. Yeah.
And it was covered with coconut, and then jelly beans. Yep.
Interesting texture.
And then she
combo.
always put this little glass chicken in the middle of it.
That
every
sounds
year,
really cute.
Every year. And everyone would eat the cake. Like every adult and every kid would be like, wow, thank you. And the frosting was like, you wanted it to be like buttercream, but it was that whipped, weird, like cool whippy, sticky frosting. And you're
Probably
like,
was Cool Whip.
yeah, and you're like,
it's Crisco.
yeah, it was. It was grandma. A lot of Crisco.
Hit me with the lard.
But my mom has the chicken. Yeah,
Aw.
we saved the chicken, and
That's
it's on a shelf in a place of honor, chicken honor,
Aw.
where it hangs out. Yeah,
That is very cute.
yeah. So there was weird traditions, all of which were very pagan. Chickens, jelly beans, everything had to be pastel colors.
Yeah.
Lots of flowers, lots
all
of
the
bulbs,
pastels.
lots of, daffodils, crocuses.
Oh, I think I even put the. I might have put the quote in here. Yeah, I did.
What?
Because I was looking up the colors, and then I had to look up. What's this from? You have gone too far. You've married Fester. You've destroyed his spirit. You've taken him from us. All that I could forgive. But Debbie, pastels. I had.
Adam's Family Values.
Come on. Come on.
I mean, really though, she was great.
And I fully agree.
Oh yeah, pastels.
I am not a newborn baby
I mean,
in an egg.
so favorite pastels, if I had to pick,
Hit me.
seafoam green.
I agree.
Seafoam green.
Green's the best.
I can get behind a lilac or
Yeah.
a lavender, baby pink.
I don't like baby pink, baby blue.
Baby yellow, like that paley. I can't buttermilk or whatever. I don't know. In combination, they're all very attractive because they're colorful and pretty. But like, as far as decor goes, I have a hard time with it. I don't know.
It gives me like nursing home vibes. I don't know what like.
You mean like you've been sent to a place called Pleasant Fields?
Yeah. No. It's like what's that Nicole Kidman movie where she's Stepford Wife?
Stepford Wives.
Yeah, it gives me that.
Mhm.
Where it's like everyone is very ironed apron, like.
It's Edward Scissorhands
Yeah.
before the Scissorhands.
No.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. But love the candy.
Love the candy.
But I can get behind like a seafoam green. I'm okay with that.
So that weirdly transitions into one of the activities that you can do if you are of the pagan bent or if you have an altar. Because in previous Sabbath episodes, we've talked about decorating your altar or your sacred space for the season. And so do you actively set up a spring or Ostara altar?
I haven't been good for probably like the past 2 years. I was in a really good mode for a while there of doing it for every one, but as I've kind of gotten more like individual in my practice, I kind of only do it for more ones that like I resonate with
Yeah.
personally. So like I will more for like Yule or for Samhain or something, but I haven't, and maybe I'll get a little thing going. I'm gonna be dyeing some eggs
Because
you know.
it can get cute.
Oh, it
It
can
can
get real cute.
You
Get
can
some
do
flowers.
Yep, color themes. So pastels, obviously, but I think
Yes.
you should always, when you're doing any kind of altar decor or like spiritual space decorating, pick the colors that resonate with you.
Yeah.
Because again, personal practice. So you do not need to cover your altar with baby pink,
No.
or if you love pink, go full Barbie.
Right.
Like
Right.
do
See,
the thing.
I love a hot pink.
right?
Bam.
Why not?
Yeah.
So whatever colors and themes remind you of spring is the essential part. Eggs.
Eggs.
Fresh flowers.
Yes.
If you don't have access to fresh flowers, or if you already have silk flowers, put silk flowers on there.
Yeah. We love a carnation.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Any items that represent balance and polarity. So, a lot of people are like thinking the light and the dark, the day and the night, things that represent that balance because it is around an equinox.
Yes.
So you're trying to showcase the equal time frame of day and night on this special day. And so you could be creative with what that means to you. Some people go straight up yin and yang symbol. That's the easiest for them. Some people do like opposing crystals or opposing. There's some strange sounds.
I was like,
It's the Commodore.
all of a sudden,
Sick guitar riffs, man. Spoilers, it's laundry day. And laundry, aka the ghost of Olaf Omen, has returned.
oh my god!
If we record on Sundays.
When we figured out it was your dryer.
Yep, because we only do laundry on Sundays, and we used to only record this podcast on Sundays, but then we switched it to Mondays.
Yeah.
So welcome back, Olaf.
Hey.
Homie.
Shout out. He's here. He's here for
he's here.
Ostara.
So some people will do opposing like stones or crystals or a black and white candle or anything that showcases equal measure of light and dark. Also, if you're looking for some stones that are more like spring or Ostara oriented, you could do a moonstone, rose quartz, aquamarine, amethyst. Yep. And like I think rose quartz is one of the more accessible ones because a lot of people already have rose quartz. So I think I might do that. I might jazz it up. I have a beautiful rose quartz sphere that I could put.
Yes.
So you can also include
And some pretty cool amethyst.
Oh,
that
yeah.
you
Mine.
found yourself.
Mine from the earth.
Yeah.
That's pretty authentic.
You know?
And they're points.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I have one too.
I know. We gave you one.
I know.
Pretty
It's
great.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love it.
If you can mine amethyst in the Thunder Bay region, strong recommend. Shout out Amethyst Mine of Thunder Bay.
Yeah. Maybe wear cut gloves when you do.
Oh, the Commodore.
Protection.
So sorry about that, dear. So the Commodore may have bloodied himself on his first dig into the earth. One hand sliced it right open. Then was like, and then was trying to desperately hide the blood. And so basically was like like bleeding. And I'm like, oh my God, do we need stitches? And he's like, no, keep digging. Like we need
more amethyst.
Yes,
is
the
what we need.
stones.
Oh God.
So, that's how that went.
Oh,
but
yes.
I think that also incorporating natural objects. So, we've talked off and on the pod about how cool it is if you're able to source your own crystals or minerals and how, like, if you can do that ethically, that's great. And in North America, we're blessed with an abundance of sites that you can go to find your own crystals. So, and since the amethyst mining, and actually prior to the amethyst mining, I had found this big natural quartz pocket and brought some quartz back for both of us. I have looked up like sapphire mines you can go to and Herkimer diamond mines, and you can go mine thunder eggs, which are opals. You can go, I mean, there's so many.
I want to go. Excuse me.
Mr. Worldwide.
You excuse.
Thank you. I want to go. Have you seen those ones in like Kentucky?
Oh,
Is
is
those
that
big like smoky quartz that they be
like out of the
points.
ground? Yeah.
Huge. I'm
Yeah.
like, and they're just like in the mud. I was like, I want to do that.
It's
Just put my wellies on and dig
as
giant
soon as
crystals.
you start finding things in the earth that, like, how the dwarves behave badly in The Hobbit when they start to dig down into the lonely mountain, and like they get that like crystal lust.
Because I can make magical things.
It descends upon you, and you're like, I'll find another one.
Oh yeah.
I'll just find another one, and then pretty soon you're just covered with dirt, full Gollum in the mud, like, and you just
That's all I want.
and then you have the horrible realization that you have to wash them all, and decide which ones you're actually taking because they cost money. And mines are all different. Like some mines you pay. Like for what you find, like and want to take, you pay for by weight.
Yeah.
Other mines, you get like a bucket or whatever full of the stuff, and whatever you find is yours for the flat fee. It just depends on whatever the mine is. So you got to look into that before you go. Make sure you know the rules. So incorporating natural items. So that could include, again, crystal stones. And you could take like a seasonal walk. So we've discussed this around Samhain specifically, like, and Mabon, going out at the time of year and just becoming familiar with the natural world in your area. And so if you were doing this and wanted to look at it in a non-spiritual sense, it's just phonology. Phonology is the study of the timing of the natural world.
Exactly. And I don't even think it's even that woo.
Yeah.
To just be like, you're attuning yourself with the time of year it is. I feel like that. Anyone can do that.
Yeah.
And get into it.
And if you're interested in foraging, which we have an app, I'll link it. We have two.
We do.
Foraging.
Part 1 and 2.
1 and 2. This is how you start to gather the beginning foraging knowledge. And if you have a weird aberrant year, like this year in northern Midwest, it's been bizarre weather. And I have no idea what time things are going to be appearing. Again, shout out Sonia, who was on a road trip like a week ago.
Yes.
And was in a location where there had already been rumored sightings of morels, which is, I mean,
Wild.
insane.
For the time.
Yeah. And so I was just like, oh my God, what's happening?
What? How?
So going out and one of the things that I really like to do, and I would really like to do more of, and so I actually have like a vellum journal for like pressed plants, is just essentially starting a phenology journal and then doing legally, not stealing from parks or other places where it's illegal.
Don't do
taking like a plant specimen, and it has to be not endangered. Also, don't do that. No endangered harvesting.
No.
Ethically taking like plants to create my own phenology journal for the time of year. So like when I go out in spring, what are the plants that I'm expecting to see at this time of year, and start documenting that. Or like,
I love that.
yeah. And our first ever Goblin Squad walk was a ramp foraging expedition, which ramps are like the first really prominent edible wild food in the North Woods. So good. And so we had gone out to see if the ramp patches that we always forage had popped. And then from that, you can kind of gauge things like fiddlehead ferns.
Oh my
and you
God.
can gauge
That toast I made.
That
I mean,
fern toast.
At the end after I sauteed them.
Yeah.
They got a lot smaller.
They do.
So
They shrink way down.
It was enough for a piece of toast. And Joel wasn't brave enough. He's like, "What are you eating?" I was like, "Leave me alone."
People really get ooged by fiddleheads
like,
because
how do you know
they
there's
look.
not bugs in there.
You've cooked them if they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
was
by
like,
that
if
point.
so, they're down. I was like, I soaked them.
Yeah. You
and
just
then
rinse.
I boiled them.
Yep.
And then I sauteed them. I was like,
Yeah. By the
I'm
time
fine.
you cook them all the way, even if they were in there, you would never even know, and it wouldn't hurt you.
But I spiced them up, a little butter, and sauteed them, got them all like crispy, and then I put them on just some like buttered toast with a little garlic.
Oh, good.
So good. Which I didn't expect them to be so flavorful.
Yeah. Because they
So I'm
just look like
apocalypse
plants, you know?
greens. Because I have an entire creek that is just
Yeah.
fiddleheads.
Yeah.
So.
And the only issue with them, as we've discussed in the foraging episode, is that they're there and then not there.
Yeah.
So you have
gotta
to be
catch them
on
when
it.
they're real tight.
Yeah. So going out now, like early spring season,
Just getting your bearings.
Yep.
And,
And figure out which flowers are starting to pop up. Like, you know, when am I going to see bloodroot? When am I going to see hepatica? When am I going to see, you know, the beginnings of these spring flowers? And then that will help me judge like the changing of the seasons. And it also helps calibrate in your head, you know, what you should be looking for when at what time of year. And it might seem like an overwhelming amount of information to gather if you're into phenology and you want to start this process. But what you'll find is from year to year that your brain will naturally click in when you hear, smell, see, and taste certain things on an annual basis, and you won't even be aware that it's happening.
Interesting.
And so I started kind of getting more interested in phenology and noting certain things at certain time of year. So like I know when like there's going to be a mayfly hatch, like the time of year it's going to happen. Like I know when I'm going to see the most abundance of fireflies in our area around what time of year. I know like when dragonflies, the first hatch of dragonflies traditionally comes out on Lake Superior. So then you're going to get like gull, like bug catching behavior, like all these things that just start to calibrate in your head.
Yeah.
And it will also then calibrate with wild food. You know, if you're used to seeing ramps, you know that the next immediate thing you're going to find are fiddleheads. And then, you know, the next immediate thing you're going to find are these mushrooms and this mushroom and this berry and this. So once you build it up after a while and take notes, be a nerd.
Even going after that first time, I was telling everybody and their mother about it. And they're like, what's a ramp? Like, you know, I'm not hanging out with a lot of sophisticated people.
You do just fine.
Do what? What's a ramp? But they didn't know, and now I know. Oh, I know when I'm on a walk now. I'm like,
you just start to notice.
Footy football.
Yeah.
And you see it, and I'm like, oh, I could take a little bit of this. Yep. Like I could do some things when I get home, cook a little stuff, and just being able to not only identify that for yourself, but to share that with others. You know, and if, you know, especially for all these Sabbats as you're doing these nature walks or these meditations, if you're able to bring any of that home and cook with it. Oh,
It's so nice, and it's so
nice.
rewarding to be able to harvest something and then immediately cook with it.
and I swear it tastes better.
It does taste better.
You're like, I did this.
Every
It's like
part
when
of it
you're
tastes better.
cooking from things with your, your garden or something. And
Yep.
I really only bake, but I could do a focaccia. Like I can do some bread.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice.
And it is
nice.
the seasonal, the full experience of seasonal awareness that starts, and it kind of shuts down naturally in the winter. And again, I think this is just a natural part of an annual cycle. If you live in a place that has,
it's the time of rest.
a cold season, so there aren't necessarily items to forage on the scale that you would in spring and summer and fall, obviously.
Yeah.
But when that first kind of flush of spring comes through, or you get that sense of the change in like the amount of water that's in the air and the way the earth responds when you walk, and the smells and the change in the light color.
What birds are you hearing around
And
you?
you're starting to make those notes. It really slows down, and I've talked about this, my feelings on this in other episodes. It slows down the speed of the year for me. So, and spring is such a fleeting season here. I mean, it really is like sometimes it's not even a thing.
It's
like 3
3
days.
weeks.
Yeah, like if we
such
get
like
a good snap, it's so short.
Oh God, yeah. And this time of year, especially for the Northerners, it teases us a lot because we have been having a very mild, very warm winter.
We had 2 60-degree days last week,
Dude,
and I was like, I'm worried.
It was so warm,
Yeah.
and now we're having a cold snap.
I know.
Again, and even got a smidge of snow.
There was some
a little
snow.
boop.
A spoop.
And I'm like, now, even after last year where we got 12 feet, I'm like, I'm over it. I thought it was warm. What do we do?
I feel like we just had such a long winter last year that we just skipped this year because we were over
we
it.
needed a break.
Yeah.
And Mother Earth was like,
Sure.
got you.
Super El Nino. Here you go.
Here you go.
Planet's dying.
Have fun.
It's fine. No one's freaking out over here.
The wildfires.
Okay.
I'm scared.
Ostara.
The story of Ostara.
We're going to weave this tale together for our grandchildren.
A part 2.
Yeah. Scene 2.
Next.
Take something. Some numbers. Some sounds.
There's a take, and we're doing.
Yeah, and we're here. And we're here. So, to get back to what we were talking about with, like, the natural world. Like, anything related to getting out and being involved in spring and resetting your internal clock to the like return of the light and to get yourself active and to kind of like slough off that remaining like winter doldrum that you have, but also not just the planting of physical seeds, metaphorical seeds as well. What kind of seeds can you plant in the spring that are not real seeds, you might ask?
What are they, Sarah?
Let me tell you. So, here are some questions to ask yourself if you want to plant some metaphysical seeds.
Yes.
Because also by the time you get to Ostara, the new year, the Gregorian calendar new year fever has worn the hell off. You're like, I don't give a shit.
We've canceled our gym
You know,
memberships.
I've become a vampire to drink blood. Fuck forever. That's where you're at by the time you get to Ostara. I've been watching a lot of What We Do in the Shadows. This is how we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
And I've been playing too much Baldur's Gate.
Right.
I'm like, Ostarian. Okay.
Yep. Also, future episodes, spoilers. Guess who convinced me to read the ACOTAR books? And now my life is ruined. It's just
You're obsessed because they're great.
You know what the Commodore said to me today? He said,
What?
I miss you. Have I been here the whole time? Yeah. Yes, I have. You're
like, actually, I've been in the night court in my mind.
Spoilers. It's better there. So I was gone for a week because I was helping with my new baby niece and nephew, but I've been back for a week, and he didn't say. He said he missed me after I had been home for 5 days. So that told me maybe I was listening to too many audiobooks. And also, this is my first time listening to audiobooks.
Yeah.
Right?
But they're good.
So
I think the narration
the joy
is good.
of being able to listen to the book and do things. But here's the thing. I can't type or do anything that requires reading or thought while I'm listening.
Yeah.
I can do housework. Like I can
Yeah.
do dishes and laundry and clean, but I can't type. Or I can play video games, but only if I'm like resource mining. If I'm doing anything in the plot, I like fully can't do both.
I think I've trained my brain too well.
Yeah, I can't.
Because I'm like fully emailing people while listening to
Oh my God, how?
I don't know.
How?
Like,
I would accidentally be typing all kinds of stuff like Illyrian wings. You know, like,
that, I will say I do double, triple read my
do you
emails
pause
before
and
I send
read?
them.
Because how can you listen to it? I can't.
No, I don't. I don't know.
I'm
I
impressed.
Train my brain.
I'm fully impressed. But also, I listened to the first 2 audiobooks, right? I just started the third. It's got a different narrator.
Yeah.
Oh, is that hard?
You will get used to it.
I'm not used to it yet.
It takes a minute.
I'm not used to it yet.
Yeah. And I believe 3, 4, and 5 all have that same one. Yeah.
That's good because I was a little bit crushed.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, "Oh no,
what's happened?"
Oh,
but I will
no.
say it
levels
blends.
out.
Yeah, it does.
If you hear weird sounds in the hallway, I'm pretty sure that's Wampus.
Let me in.
Yeah, he's pretty
Yes.
mad about it. So here's some questions. First of all, I need to spend more time with my husband, less time in the night court, apparently. So let's plant that seed. Questions to ask yourself.
Yes.
What seeds do you want to plant or intentions do you want to craft for the upcoming season and year?
Ooh.
If you write those down in a list, you can sow those seeds now in the spring and watch them bear fruit when it comes time for fall and winter when you need to rest. So with some thought and some planning, you can actually reset your goals and actions and ideas for the upcoming year that you set maybe in January or February, or now is the time to reassess what you've been doing for yourself and plant the seeds of success. So if you can sit down and go, this is working, this is not working.
Yeah.
This is helping me, this is not helping me. What can you do to cultivate that more actively starting around Ostara?
Oh, okay.
Also, because it's an equinox, how can you cultivate your own sense of balance, and what symbols do you need to place on your altar to represent and remind yourself of those goals to achieve your own balance?
Ooh, yeah.
So if there's something in your own life that has swung out of balance, whether that's you listening to too much fairy smut and not doing your jobs, or like...
It's about the balance. You gotta...
It is.
We can do both.
Can we?
Yes. I'm like, wait till I get you onto my finished books.
Oh, God.
You don't know for fairy smut. Okay. Wait until we go into the underworld.
Oh, no. I'm not. I'm not prepared. Oh, God.
Because like an amuse bouche.
Because right now, I told you what happens when it gets real smutty. I just laugh.
Well, that is an audiobook thing,
Yeah.
I will say.
I just laugh out loud sometimes.
Because it's like...
What? And I'll be in my car.
They did what? To the where? To the who?
If I'm on my commute and I'm driving, I'm like, oh. What happened? Oh,
Yeah.
my God. And I'm like looking at other drivers like, did
yeah.
you hear what he did? Like, did you see it? Oh, my God. Like, yeah.
Oh,
It's the joy of audiobooks.
yeah. The balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you can, if you do an altar, you can put things on your altar for yourself to symbolize balance. You know, things you're working on, things that you've struggled with, things that make you feel grounded or make you feel in balance. So it doesn't have to be, again, this like traditional symbol that resonates with everybody. It's just for you. And then you can include, again, preferred crystals or stones or items that represent goals you might be struggling to achieve so that you can plant seeds for success. So those were some kind of like a combination of, you know, the woo and the not woo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then there is the good old spring cleaning.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning and cleansing.
Cleaning and cleansing, which is a big area.
Yeah.
And everybody does it all the time. I mean, like, it's in pop culture.
Oh, absolutely.
It's referenced. I mean, in my own home, we had spring cleaning. I don't know about you, but like,
It's Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, back here again and let you know. I just came to remind y'all.
Well, we have it in my house now.
Just gonna...
We'll just breeze right on past that one. I do sprinkling.
Sorry. I forgot. It wasn't my bad. Let me try again.
The energy could have been refreshed in that house a little more.
Yeah, let me try again. You know spring cleaning. You do it. I do it. Some people do it.
I'm just gonna insert a picture of the Hoarders show right here.
The power of editing has entered the Goblin Squad.
But yes, it is important. I just did it today. I did a full vacuum clean.
Yeah.
I had to fix my bed frame. Got a little out of wonk. Don't look at me. They can see your faces now.
It got out of wonk.
Yes. For unknown reasons. See, these are why the cameras are going to be dangerous. Because usually you can't see that. That face. Yes, okay, I had to get an Allen wrench. But I opened the window.
Yeah.
And I vacuumed and got fresh air in there. And I pulled the
You okay? Yeah, right. I was just gonna say
I could.
it's not spring cleaning till you can open the windows. But I can't get...
I'm the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring.
Yeah, we like to have fun here. You know what I'm doing. So.
I mean, after reading them books, the ideas are in the mind, and then just oh damn,
Oh, I don't know where to go.
I can't dig myself out of this one. Man. You're gonna have to help.
Okay.
So spring cleaning.
So
you had just done a bit of a clean.
yes.
Yes. Yes.
Open the window.
Yeah.
But I have. Oh, what's that really good room spray? I think I've showed it to you. It has
Ooh, it's not the patchouli one, is it?
No. It has
You showed me the bottle, yeah,
and a couple other things in it. Oh,
It's
I think
really
a little bit of
nice.
sandalwood in there too.
Yeah.
But it smells so good.
It's
so
really nice.
But it was just nice to open, even though it was a little colder today. Open the windows and fully vacuumed and fully cleaned all the dog nose prints off the window. Mm-hmm. Good Lord.
Yeah.
I have to take a steamer to them because
It's got a patina.
got a big old schnoz.
Mm-hmm.
And so that felt nice. So I know going to bed and there's just gonna be
It's gonna be so cozy.
I won't be all sniffly too.
No.
The amount of hair.
I
Because again, for the people with this very strange winter and spring, if you have a dog with an undercoat, I have a shepherd. She has been throwing a coat and then growing a new one, and then throwing a coat and growing a new one. Her body doesn't know what to do, so she's just full of those little floofs.
Yep, that you want to pull out.
And I do, and then she hates it. She's like,
Stop.
I'm like, it was not even attached
No,
to you.
why are you so offended? And she wants
acts
it
like
back.
I pulled her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she wants to smell it or lick it. And
Yeah.
It's like, you're weird,
Girl.
my dog.
No.
Little pinhead.
That's
She's
okay.
a little special.
Monster.
Bless her.
She's
But
real cute.
yeah, it is. It's nice to get that fresh energy and air.
Yeah.
And so I go around with the bells and all the things.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
But
And
it's
that was
nice to do this for your whole house,
your whole house.
not just one room.
Yeah, and I think, again, not realizing it as kids, in my head, spring cleaning occurred the first time my mom opened all the windows for the season, and then it was a flurry of vacuuming and dusting and airing out.
yeah.
And then, so, when people don't realize that they're doing pagany things, but it's pagan, my mom, instead of ringing bells, would blast James Taylor's greatest hits. And so whenever I hear that album, I'm like, I gotta vacuum. I need to vacuum right now.
It's like the clicker for the
She,
dog.
she Pavloved me every single time I hear, I woke up this morning and wrote down this song. And then all of a sudden I'm like, meow. Yeah. Yeah. She did that.
I think I'm similar with 90s country music.
You didn't know, did you? And now,
until just now,
at this very moment.
it's Shania.
Oh, that would do it.
Mama's doing the dishes.
Yeah.
And Reba. Fancy,
Oh,
don't let
yeah.
me down. I'm doing the dishes right now.
Doing the dishes. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that was intentional. I heard it.
It's loud, isn't it?
Wait. Now it went away. Why did it sound like Charlie Brown's parents?
Or Mars Attacks.
Big brain. What was that?
I didn't know what to do. Fully like...
I don't think I've ever seen you make that face before.
It was just stuck.
Literally, you were like,
So warm now.
I
It's like 80 in here. Okay, so even if this episode is absolutely insane, I say
we'll cut it.
we release this.
Oh, it'll be amazing.
Because it's about learning. Okay.
Yes. New beginnings.
And if you don't,
I feel like it's a great
try.
metaphor
Oh, God,
for
everything is a nightmare.
I'm very excited that when I make these intense reactions to your faces, because in the audio version, they've only ever
Silence
gotten
or
silence.
wheezing.
Yeah. And they don't see what I'm looking at.
Okay.
But I think we have to release this up.
I think we have no choice.
It's for you.
We're not going to have time to re-record it.
No, not at all. It's going out to you one way or another, folks.
And we'll just put it in a little caveat that
Oh, yeah.
we're just trying to get used to this whole.
Yeah.
Anyone that's ever been on our podcast, the few people who have agreed to be interviewed, thank you. Who had their mic phobia as soon as we put the gear up, and the two of us seemed totally nonchalant about it. Just remember that when we started with the mics, we had to restart lots of times.
Oh, God.
Because we were both fully freaking out.
Yeah.
Which is now what the camera is doing.
Yeah.
And then
we
it's
both keep like, I feel like it's like us switching to our inner monologue. Every 5 seconds we're like, yeah. It is though, and I think it's gonna take a minute.
I think
sure.
if I just become Jim from The Office,
Yes.
it will be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm Dwight, if we're being honest.
I mean,
Me and Joel have tried to decide this in the past where I'm like, we're not Dwight and Angela.
no.
We're just both
You're
Dwight.
both Dwight. Mm-hmm.
And he's like a little Creed too.
Yeah.
Just eating an onion, like a potato, like an apple.
But no one really knows.
Dyes his hair black. Hello, fellow youths. Okay.
Yep.
So I got some stuff
Yeah.
for you too.
Hit me.
I can hit you. So in, going back to your, where we're sowing our seeds and all that fun stuff, I found a little folk magi thing with spearmint, which is one of the herbs for Ostara, which I like, was to write a wish on a piece of paper and wrap it up into spearmint leaves. Put the spearmint wrapped wish in a red cloth and sew it into a little package with some red thread and keep it safe and secret. So it's kind of like a little mojo bag.
Did you say keep it safe and secret?
Yeah.
You mean like keep it secret? Keep it safe? Frodo Baggins?
Oh my God. I thought you were going somewhere else.
No, come back! It's not dirty. Get back on track. What's happening? Focus.
Yes.
Again. Okay.
Yes.
It's my own fault. I did it.
Okay. When the scent... You keep hitting me. I swear I can't because my bang.
Are they driving you insane? I see you
You're just like hitting me with the fucking rock eyebrow.
The people's eyebrow.
Keep it safe and secret. Secret and safe. Fucking A, man.
What do you
I'm
do
sweating.
What do you do with it after that?
When the scent. Yeah.
You want a Suzuki?
Yeah. Give me some sheet music.
Here. Oh, you can have a viola concerto. There
Okay.
you go. Oh, that's Hofmeister. I'm so sorry.
you.
See?
That's nice.
Wasn't my favorite concerto, so whatever happens.
You're
to
like,
it.
you're fine to sweat on it. It's fine.
Yeah, Hofmeister, no
All right,
thank
here.
you.
We'll just take a little siesta.
There you go.
That's nice.
Oh.
Fucking A, man. That was ridiculous.
It was entirely my fault. It was going real good, and then I just ruined the whole thing.
Not at all. Not at all. I just couldn't stop laughing at your fucking face. You're just looking at me like, not breathing. But basically, you keep it secret and safe. And when the scent of spearmint is gone, your wish should apparently come true. And I just liked that little
That's kind of
Little-
cute. I like that too.
tidbitty thing. I have several. I hope you're ready.
I got the appetite.
For some eggs.
I wasn't absolutely ready. Okay, I'm ready now.
I have lots of things with eggs.
Eggs, okay.
So
I love an egg.
You ever heard of eggshell powder, cascarilla,
Tell me more.
peace powder?
Tell me
Nothing?
more. No.
So, eggs, fertility, life, transformation, the barrier between the inside and outside world, if you will.
Yep.
So this was commonly used in Santeria, Haitian voodoo, and Southern American folk magic. And a lot of different blended crafts will use this, currently kind of drawing from those practices. But basically, how to make it. All right, get your notebooks out, people.
Okay,
I'm going to give you a little rundown. So you have your eggshells, right? Maybe you just made some scrambies. You're getting ready. So rinse them, let them air dry for a little bit, then break them into small pieces and put them on a sheet pan. You can pop them in the oven on the lowest temp, or if you have a dehydrator, those are nice as well, until they're very brittle.
Okay.
So usually about an hour and a half every 2 hours. Be careful, and you want to get that lowest temp because they can burn.
Oh, okay.
So, keep an eye on them, but you want them to get brittle. And then let them cool. And then if you have a mortar and pestle, also, if you're like, oh, I can't afford one or those are bougie, I have found so many mortar and pestles at Savers that are nice stone quality ones for $3.
Yeah.
So
You can
hot tip.
find them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out.
They're out there. And I've gotten at the that Asian market in Minneapolis, I got one that's this big and it's fully wooden, and the pestle.
Oh,
I feel
that's
so
nice.
witchy when I'm using it.
Yeah.
I make incense with it. I'm like, I'm a wizard. Oh, it's so fun
Oh, it
because it's
sounds
just
great.
the exaggerated, but
Always go for that.
Yeah.
If you can.
And that, but maybe you don't have them. Maybe you're in the broom closet, or maybe you just it's not your thing. Coffee grinder, blender, little food processor.
A muddler.
Yeah, it's
whatever you gotta do.
have on hand to crush into a powder. The uses for this, you can put in a ritual bath, which you could do on Ostara. Mop water during your spring cleaning. Line your windowsills and door thresholds. Add it to protection spells or little mojo bags, like in your little spearmint, maybe your little wish. And it's also great plant food, too. Especially as you're sowing the seeds, calcium.
Perfect.
And if it's fine enough, you can press it into a ritual chalk to draw sigils.
That's
Which-
pretty cool.
I got too excited. Love this idea.
Fully fair.
And I'm going to hit you with how to do the chalk.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So for the chalk, you will need 1 part hot water, 1 part white flour, and 3 parts shell powder. So however you want to, up or down, even if a tablespoon
Yeah.
of each or a gallon. I don't know how many eggs you're working with.
Yeah, I was going to say it depends on your eggs, I suppose, how many you're
how
able
much
to
powder
drive.
you end up with. So just 3 parts shell, and combine the hot water and flour together first, and then mix in the eggshell until you have like a sticky paste, kind of clay consistency, and then you can shape this into sticks or chunks and wrap them tightly in a paper towel for a couple days, kind of similar to our air dry clay. You can also, easiest way to do it, excuse me, I don't know, I'm like phlegmy. Easiest way to do it, put it, those little paper condiment cups, you know, for like
Oh, yeah.
catsup.
Yep, catsup.
You know, dip your fries in. Get those, pack it down in there, wrap in a paper towel, and when it's dry, just peel the paper cup away, and then you have like a little
That's
wedge
easy.
for like chalk. So you could be out, you know, on your sidewalk in front of your house, like,
Oh, that's kind of cool.
yeah. Which, if you think I'm not doing that on like my front porch, like, nah.
I fully
Yeah.
expect that to be happening.
And if you want to add a little extra in when you're mixing in your powder, you could add a little extra herbs,
Oh.
maybe a little drop or two of essential oils for whatever you're working for. But that is a big thing, especially in any type of like witchy pagany space, for the windowsills and door thresholds, for protection of the house.
Yeah.
Because basically, like the egg, you're protecting the inside from the outside
yeah,
world.
okay.
You're making
I got
a
it. The shell is
protective barrier from all negative, unwanted shit.
I like
basically.
that.
Protecting the yolk.
Protecting that yolk.
Yes. So love that one.
That's really cute. I like that too.
This one, I hadn't heard of it. It's a little game, but I thought it was interesting.
All right.
It's called egg tapping.
Why does it sound like I'm going to go, oh, yeah, okay.
All right, let me hit you with it.
Yeah.
Each person chooses an egg. So maybe, you know, get the homies, the fam, once you got your eggs, from the basket and cups it in their hand. And these are hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled.
Folks. You know,
Okay.
that you've died, maybe they're decorative, but hard-boiled.
Holding you.
You negotiate with your opponent, maybe rock, paper, scissors, who is going to initiate the tapping and who is going to be on the receiving end. So first, right?
Okay.
So who gets to tap? So then the tapper gently taps the tip of their egg over their opponent's.
Oh, like on the top of it? Like
Just on the
like-
tip.
Eh.
Yeah, so like, boop, boop. Like egg, boop, boop.
Okay.
The one whose tip or end breaks turns their egg over, and then you tap again and repeat. If your egg remains unbroken, you can play against another person. So this would be not for, you know, you're having a dinner with friends or family. This might be a fun little thing. Maybe you got some extra hard boileds after you're dying all those eggs.
The ones you find
Let's
later
play
in the
a
day.
game.
Yeah.
So the winner is the one who is left holding the unbroken egg. So whoever is left, ha ha!
I'm already trying to think of ways to cheat.
Right.
Can I make some super soft boiled and then
Right?
how can I game the
Put
system?
a couple extra minutes on the.
Yeah.
Just put a raw egg in there.
Just
Not
for that
this.
one family member that you don't like.
Just all over. Tip to tip tapping. It's so loud. I knew it was gonna get you.
How'd you do it?
So is tip to end. And vice versa. You do not tap the side of the egg.
No.
Never.
No. Never tap.
Never the side.
Never tap the side of the egg.
But it's, you know, you could have a prize for the winner.
Yeah.
If you don't want to get a prize, you can give them all the broken eggs to take home for egg salad if you want to get rid of all these hard-boiled
I love
eggs.
egg salad.
And I don't know why, but that sounded so fun to me, and I really want to dye eggs this week. So I'm like, if you think me and Joel are going to be like, ha! Just double like, ba, ba, ba.
Like you have a team of eggs. Which one of your eggs makes it through? Because if there's just two of you,
You could like draw a little face on them.
yeah,
Have your little, your
little
eggs.
jersey numbers on them. Yeah,
See? Cute. I loved it. We're making our own traditions.
Yes,
but
we are.
I thought that would be
a little goblin
a little
army.
cute one.
Draw little ears
Yes!
on them. It'll be the goblins versus the orcs.
I was like, what a fun little game that I had never heard of.
I know.
I was like, who's
Turns
out
out I
here with
also
all
have
these eggs? Like,
never heard of it.
just tapping away. Another thing hadn't heard of but want to do, and I may do an outside one. But all right, I did spell this one out phonetically.
Okay.
Because it is the German.
Okay.
Ostereierbahn. Ostereierbahn.
A tree egg. Egg tree.
Yes.
I'm like, I'll get
a tree egg.
Egg tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So a beloved German tradition, the Ostereierbahn, yes,
Yeah. Yes.
is a tree or shrub decorated with hanging Easter egg. So the hollowed out ones that, you blow the goop out. You can turn your outdoor trees into an Ostara or Easter tree, whatever your jam.
Yeah.
Or create one inside your home with foraged branches and dyed or painted eggs, perhaps on your altar. Just saying.
Very cute.
This tradition is slightly mysterious. There's no real story to when or how it began
Maybe it's just real,
in Germany.
just cute.
Right?
People are like, look at them eggs.
Just a bunch of
So cute.
Look at them eggs. Yes. Might be the title of the episode. If I'm being honest, as I'm spitting.
Look at them eggs. But in German.
Yes.
With German seriousness.
Ostereierbahn.
We're so sorry to all our German goblins.
I am mostly German.
Oh,
the homies.
Actually, me too.
Yeah.
Mostly, except for that other part we don't know about.
Yeah.
The question mark.
There's
part.
a lot mixed
German
going on
and a
there.
question mark.
Yeah. But German families across the world have been adding this cheerful pop of color to their homes for centuries.
I love it.
So there's, again, tons of things you can do. Your altar, the eggs, decorating, arranging with flowers, watching the sunrise to honor the light. So getting up really early that morning. They just changed on us again. Daylight savings.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, it's not that. Oh, yeah, it is that early now.
Yeah.
Bastards.
I
Once again, no reason to move
I thought
to
we stopped that. I was
Yeah.
really bummed out.
another
but
reason
maybe
to
next
move
year.
to Tucson, Arizona.
Right? I love the states that are just like, no,
We're not doing it.
no.
You can't make us.
Yeah. Kind of like Joel refuses to change the time in his car. He's like, it's just wrong half of the year. And he's like, they're not going to get me. I'm like, who's going to get you?
Well,
like
I
someone's going to
understand.
show up to his window one day and be like, see, showed them.
Got you. You thought you got me.
Just
On one
refuses.
hand, I respect the blatant hatred of all authoritarian rule. Like, don't tell me what to do, right?
No.
I can't stand it. Pinch, pinch.
Stab,
Stab,
stab.
stab.
Literally.
But also, I would be an hour late to everything in my entire life.
Yeah.
Because I'm already late to everything in my entire life.
It would just be more.
It would be a shit
worse.
show. It would be. I would be fired from things.
Oh God! it's such an outdated thing, and
I don't know why we do
when we
it.
were mostly farmers, and it
Yeah.
doesn't really make a lot of sense now.
I
But
don't know.
I digress. Watch the sunrise if you can, if you care to. Another one I thought, which we might be able to do this, collect some rainwater if you're able, or some morning dew
Morning dew.
if it's
Easy
not
peasy.
rainy that day. With the energy of the spring, renewal, growth, gaining power over time. Water your house plants.
Gaining power over time. Like
Because the spring.
a time lord. You know what I'm saying, right? You don't. Okay.
No.
We'll have a Doctor Who episode, but just
I
not
still
today.
haven't watched Doctor Who. I know. I don't know what's happening with my face. I keep looking at myself and I'm like,
Every time you go to a
hello.
I might actually pee.
Don't be, sir.
Okay.
So the morning dew.
Top
time manipulation,
Yes.
space-time continuum.
But in like the sense of spring.
Let me just show you what you did. Okay. This is how you tried to explain taking the morning dew and manipulating time. And you went like this. You went. It was plants growing in my mind. Spring time. And I was like, what? But now.
Sorry, that's not ASL, that's BSL, doing my best.
So I get it now.
But you can gather said rainwater, morning dew. Oh, bless it. You can water your houseplants. You can cleanse your water-safe crystals. Like, you can go through space. You were broken. Is it my bang?
The more you move them.
Oh, fuck. I cannot.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just not gonna look at you.
No.
Nope.
I'm not
I'll
gonna
look at you.
either. Look at our goblins. Yeah, okay, I'm fine.
You can water your houseplants.
Yep.
You can cleanse your water-safe crystals.
Okay. And expand on that a little bit because we have a history in this room of
Yes.
damaging crystals really early on.
Safe rule of thumb, nothing that ends with an ite is good to go into water.
Right. Okay. That's
So
good review.
Hematite.
Do we have a
calcite.
crystals? Do we have a crystals episode? Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, your amethyst, good to go. Rose quartz, regular quartz. You're good. Most quartz.
But not appetite.
Not your ites.
Not your ites. I wonder.
You can get away with more with polished stones, but
Yeah.
if there's any little, like on that one, if there's any little imperfection
in
in there, if a little water gets in there, you can crack.
Oh, okay. That
So,
makes sense.
you can use this as an offering on your altar if you are working with any goddess or deity or anything for the Sabbath. You can anoint your magical tools,
That's kind of cool.
like your athame or a
theme.
A thame. Including yourself.
Yeah.
Little get some vibes in there. You can put it in your floor wash too. You're literally getting the spring vibes right on in. You can sprinkle 4 corners of each room to bless and protect your home. So just getting a little bit in each corner. You can put it in a dark bowl and use it for scrying. You can paint with it, which I saw that and I was like,
Why have I never thought of that?
right? Like, how magical and mystical is that?
Why have I never thought of it?
Paint with it. Paint with it.
It's because we're very separated from the natural world.
For real. This is why getting out is important.
Yeah.
We got to do
Yeah.
things. And since this episode has been loaded with chaos, you're like, yeah, you.
No, not just you. It's my fault too.
It's both of us.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of what we may just call gobs from around the world.
Oh, wait. That's gone.
I've
Sorry.
lost my
I just
phone.
automatically did the air horn without thinking about it.
No, it's because I was taking an Inception picture of our camera set.
That's right.
Gobs around the world.
Yeah. Mr. Worldwide.
So, like you had mentioned, Mr. 305.
You had to. You can't.
It's like a call and
It is-
response now.
It is like in church. What do they say? Where you're like,
Peace be with you.
and also with you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Mr. Worldwide. Mr. 305 has become the new, the new. Peace be with you and also with you.
He's out there.
It's the Goblin Church.
And the Church of Goblin.
Yes.
Yep. All right. Welcome.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. 305.
Yes. So in the spirit of
Yeah.
the Goblin Church, because you had mentioned too, looking up different traditions or how many different cultures from around the world, they're celebrating the coming of spring, whether it's exactly on the vernal equinox or the full moon after or the Sunday after that full moon. They all kind of fall on one of those three, which it's interesting from, places that never seen each other for hundreds, thousands of years, have similar celebrations, but are all unique too in their own way. So I saw one just because it looked so beautiful and interesting. I was like, oh my God, what is that?
What is it?
What is it? What is it? Holly.
Oh, yeah. The color. the beautiful
the Festival
spring
of Colors.
color festival.
So this is on March 25th, which is the full moon after the equinox, and known as the Festival of Colors. I have beautiful pictures, which I'll post better versions of right here.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful. So this is celebrated by Hindus in India, Nepal, around the world. And the prismatic partying takes place over 2 days in praise of fertility, color, love, new beginnings, and the triumph of good over evil. On the eve of Holi, song and dance take place around a bonfire. Again,
Like they
sounding
do.
familiar. Called Holika. Again, my pronunciation terrible. Ask the Germans.
Didn't look it up. Our bad.
To signify the burning of evil spirits. Various items are often thrown into the flames, including wood, dry leaves, twigs, and even roasting grains, popcorn, coconuts, and chickpeas. The actual holiday, right, which I imagine smells amazing, first of all, just like coconuts. The actual holiday is a time to let loose and celebrate life. Family and friends gather to playfully throw colorful paint and bright powders at each other and into the air, fully immersing themselves from head to toe in color. Additionally, a troupe plays a traditional wooden drum called a dhol, D-H-O-L, while dancing amid the colors. So you got drums, music going, everyone's laughing, dancing, and just, it's like everything, everybody, the whole street is just like bright technicolor rainbow of powders and paints. I'm like, oh,
It's a feast of the senses.
yeah, spring! Like, So again, I'll insert another photo.
So beautiful.
Right here. It's just so...
Right here.
Right here.
Over here. Over there.
Because, oh my God. I had to give a shout out. Because I was
Shout out.
how beautiful and cool and just like...
It's just the
Lovely
glorious
is that.
celebration of the coming of spring.
Yeah. And just the renewal and the rebirth. And that's where, whether you're dyeing eggs, you're making a tree, you're doing your altar, your meditation. I think, it's a time to celebrate new beginnings, rebirth, coming out of your, what is it? Seasonal depression.
Leave
Just
your
back
body.
to regular depression. But I feel like if you can spend time a little with, your family and friends during this time and have some good food, maybe some ham.
With pineapples.
Yeah. I like that gravy, though. A little ham gravy.
Ham gravy.
You never had a gravy made with the ham? But when you cook the ham? It's good.
I think I'm missing out.
Yeah. Put on some mashed potatoes.
Just been eating that coconut cake for 35
I
plus
thought you were
years.
going to say coconut gravy. I was like, and you're looking at me for ham gravy. No. Maybe that's the thing Joel's grandma made, but she makes it out of like the sauce in the pan. It's actually really good.
That sounds amazing,
It's
and I
like
don't think I've
famous
ever
gravy.
had.
Yeah.
I need that famous gravy.
It's fucking good. Literally at if there's more than 3 people, there's an extra bowl like on the table, and then some when we like dish up at the counter. But then there's extra bowls of it on the table because everyone wants that gravy.
Damn.
Because you gotta put some on your mashed potatoes, you gotta put some on your ham, and then you gotta put some on that little Hawaiian bun that you make a little sandwich out of.
It's a sandwich. Oh,
Yeah.
God, I got you.
It's a sandwich.
Get the pieces.
Oh, but it's so good.
Without the gravy, though, that was my big beef, is that it's always real dry.
Yeah.
Because there was no ham gravy in my family.
You didn't have any gravy?
No, it's just a dry-ass ham with pineapples on it.
That's the only juice that was there. Was the
Pineapple juice.
You're like, it's delicious.
Hawaiian bun.
You're like, this sandwich is so dry.
Eat that coconut cake. Ah,
Sadly, eating a pickle.
with jelly beans in it. Ah.
I won't say who, but there's someone in my family who has a cherry dessert. You know, like when people, and this is a Midwestern thing, I think, too, make them like jello-y.
Salad, like smooth stuff.
Yeah, like fruit salad, but it's like jello mixed with like Cool Whip.
Yep.
But that has like
Mini marshmallows?
cherries. Yeah, no. And it's funny because they're like historically the only one. The person who makes it is the only one who ever eats it. And they'll sit at the table and be like, it's so good. No one touches it. Because it happened recently. Forgot to take the pits out of the cherries. They're the only person eating it. And they're like, oh no! It's like, you wonder why no one's eating that damn fucking disaster that's happening in that bowl.
To be fair, every family has their version of that in the Midwest,
For real.
right? My family called it smooth stuff.
Smooth stuff.
Smooth stuff because what is it? Nobody knows.
Gelatinous goo.
And sometimes it would be weirdly delicious.
Sometimes it can.
Anytime anyone put in the colorful mini marshmallows, I was like,
I don't like the flavor of those.
ugh.
Unpopular opinion, I don't want a marshmallow outside of a s'more.
Or a hot chocolate. You
Yeah,
know, a
literally.
s'more or a hot chocolate is
Those are-
that's it.
That's fine.
But someone in my family, and I don't know who, invented one that's called, what did they call it? I don't know. Nobody has a really good name for it in the family. They just know what it means. And it's like vanilla pudding, like boxed Insta pudding, mandarin, those mini mandarin oranges from the can, drained, so just the oranges.
And what else?
And Keebler fudge cookies.
The striped cookies.
Yeah.
My aunt makes that same salad. Yeah.
And it's so
good. Yeah. It sounds weird.
Yeah.
I was like, she's going to say those fucking cookies.
Yeah.
Delicious.
It's delicious.
It is.
And it is
It
not
sounds
as good
weird.
without the oranges.
No.
The oranges make
It
it.
adds like a little extra zhuzh. Sounds
And
like
I could
it
eat the whole
shouldn't-
bowl of it.
Yeah. It sounds like it shouldn't work
but
at
it's
all.
so
But it's nice.
For spring.
Yeah. The story of Ostara
Story of Easter
starts with a
concludes
Keebler elf.
when an elf and a bunny bring an egg on the eve of Jesus' whatever. Then you get Ostara, where you can travel through time and tip-to-tip contact is allowed, apparently.
It's actually encouraged.
But don't forget to spring clean. Or the Easter Bunny will take away those eggs.
Through the screen window and jump out.
And that, Goblins, is the story of Easter.
You're welcome. And we want to thank you for this chaotic first video recorded app. And we hope you've liked it. And there
We
will
do.
be many more to come.
There will.
And we are working out the
It'll get
kinks.
better. It'll
Yes.
get better.
Oh, absolutely.
We'll figure it out. It was just nerves.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And we're putting this out because it doesn't have to be fucking perfect.
No.
Okay? And I'm going to say this like one of my serious things here,
Yes.
where I'm like, I'm not a time traveling space wizard right now. Don't.
Well, why'd you say that?
It's okay.
I'm looking away.
I'm not looking at her either. It's okay if it's not perfect.
Yes.
You're going to tell yourself that you can't put this out into the world, just like I'm telling myself right now as I'm recording this, that this is never going to see the light of day and I'm never going to let anybody see it. And I hate my hair and I hate my face and I hate my clothes and I'm in a room and nobody's going to like me and it's going to be awful. None of that is true.
No, it's not.
And if anybody doesn't like you, okay.
They can go sit in syrup.
Yeah.
Let the fucking Easter bunny get them all.
Because he's crazy. That's what we've established. A, he's crazy. B, if he can lay eggs, he's like an echidna, which is essentially, that would make him a monotreme and not a rabbit. Okay, so there's that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, never dissect a bunny. And you're going to be fine.
Yeah, just
Okay?
don't try to put them back together. It's not going to fit.
No, you can't. Once that's been cracked,
No.
it ain't going back.
And the fact that you're worried about your hair when my fucking my bangs.
Okay, but you said you were Dwight, and then you moved them like twice.
Oh, I don't have my glasses up here. They're downstairs. Bears, beats, Battlestar Galactica.
And that, my gobs, is the true story of Easter.
You know what to do.
Stay weird.
Stay weird.
Oh my God, we did it.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. 305.
Bye.